another episode of the Divorcee Diaries. If you are new to my channel, my name is Jacqueline Bell. I am a blogger, vlogger, project manager, world traveler, and divorcee. And I like to talk about everything and all things about my life and how I can make it easier, if at all, for any divorcees or anyone that's in a breakup, and also just for travel, because I am a world traveler. I love to travel. I love to solo travel, and I love to share my resources and tips for where I've traveled and how to travel as a solo female traveler and whatnot. So without further ado, let's today talk about Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Now, a few fun facts about Mexico, or Cabo specifically, because I'll be honest, y'all, I went on this trip in need of some enlightenment, in need of an escape from the gray Seattle winter. For those of you that know, you know. And I really just wanted to go somewhere, anywhere that was affordable and warm and not too far. So I ended up going to Cabo San Lucas. And Cabo, for those of you that don't know, is on the westernmost part of Mexico. It's on the Baja California peninsula, right at the southernmost tip. And it was a lot of fun. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to in my life. So without further ado, let's get into Cabo. So first things first, when you go to Cabo, you will want to fly into SJD. SJD stands for San Jose del Cabo Airport or Los Cabos Airport. So it's Los Cabos because, or it's San Jose del Cabos because you actually do fly into the outskirts of San Jose del Cabo. And that area is about 40 minutes away. So the airport's about 40 minutes away from Cabo San Lucas. So for those of you that didn't know that like me, now you know. But what's great about it too is that if you go into Cabo, you might as well stay a few days in San Jose del Cabo if you want, or if you're looking for something a little bit more laid back, you can go to San Jose del Cabo. I kind of wish I would have done that because Cabo is known for their partying, which is fine. If you're looking for that, that's great. I was looking for a little more peace and quiet, but I'll get into that a little bit too. As far as transportation, you can get around Cabo fairly easily using a taxi. Now, the taxi can be a bit expensive. Mine was $85 to get from where I was at the airport into Rio, which is the hotel I stayed in, in Cabo. So it was a little bit further, but that's okay. You can also get an Uber. So Ubers are also something that you can do and use, even though they're not necessarily legal down there, I guess. It is utilized. So you can also use that, and it's pretty safe in that area, which I'll talk about in a little bit as well. Money. So they use the currency that they use is the Mexican pesos. Also though, they take American dollar, which is what I love about Mexico in general. But they take both the Mexican pesos and American dollar. Oh, I take that back. The currency, they take the Mexican pesos primarily. Some places will accept US dollar, but they prefer the Mexican peso. So remember to have that readily available, because I actually brought cash with me, y'all, and that was not so great. I usually don't have cash with me when I travel. I did that for 2 months in Latin America, if you all remember last year, and that was a mistake. But I made it through. In this case, it served me no real purpose. So try to have Mexican pesos to bring with you safety. So safety, y'all, I will say, Cabo San Lucas is one of the safest places that I feel like I've been to in the world, but also in Mexico. And I give it a 4.5 probably out of 5, because it was pretty safe. I felt really good there. And I really, really liked the people that I met. I had one incident where I didn't have enough pesos for a taxi. I didn't know where to find a taxi while I was in downtown Cabo. So I tried to hail a taxi. I said, do you take card? And only some taxis actually take a credit card. And a lot of them don't take American Express, just FYI for that. And I was trying to figure out how I can get back home. And this very nice Mexican fellow was speaking, because could tell I was struggling with my Spanish to speak with the driver, and asked the driver to please take me to my hotel. And he said, I will pay for it. And I knew they were upselling me, but it's, you know, but he was like, I will pay for your taxi. You can just go. And I said, that's so kind of you. Please, please don't feel like you have to. I'll just get an Uber, no problem. And he said, okay. And then he took a taxi and went on his way. But it was just so kind of him to genuinely, and I could tell intuitively that he's genuine about it. And I think he just felt very bad for this solo female traveling woman who was trying to get away back to her hotel at night. And it was very nice of him. So I didn't feel scared. I felt really good and in the area. So I would say, yeah, 4.5 out of 5 is what I would give Cabo San Lucas. Okay, let's talk about lodging. So I stayed at the Rio Santa Fe all-inclusive resort hotel, and overall I liked it. I wouldn't say, and I think all all-inclusive resorts are like this. The food, I mean, I don't think it was amazing, but it was, you know, not terrible. The drinks, of course, I kind of just stuck to wine because a lot of the cocktails, again, at all-inclusive resorts, are usually a bit dulled down. That's just something to note. And that was fun. But what I really wanted to choose Rio Santa Fe is because for a few things. One, it was the most cost-effective as far as comparing all the other hotels and safety and amenities. It was the most cost-effective, and the location was superb. It had a spot right on the water. It had wonderful pools. It had like a really hopping, really exciting young folk party pool, and then it had like the chill, relaxed pools, which is where luckily I was by, and that was really, really good, very, very helpful. But it's just, you know, something to note, and I was very happy to, you know, in the evenings go out to the beach, or in the daytime go out to the beach, but especially to watch the sunset, because the sunsets there are really spectacular. They're really superb. So I will talk about some of the challenges with the hotel. The hotel didn't have any elevators, and it went up like 3 or 4 floors for a lot of their room villages, if you will. You'll understand what I'm talking about when I leave my link to the hotel below. You'll see what I'm talking about. But that was kind of hard, especially because I saw one pregnant woman trying to get up and with her husband, and luckily she was so independent and strong, but I just felt so bad for her and her family. So that was unfortunate. So they have no elevators. Again, like I mentioned to you, the food's not amazing, but that's okay. It's not terrible. Oh, and also another thing about them, it was a bit more of a party scene. So it got pretty loud on Friday night and Saturday night, I must say. So if you're looking for a nice, quiet hotel, I don't think this is a place for you. They have parties like every other night. So that's one thing. And then for the room, I will say why I also chose it, because it had really a big and spacious room. However, because you all know me, I also work nomadically, so it wasn't so great for when I had to work during the day, but that's okay. I made it work for myself magically. I brought my laptop with me outside in different places and worked there, but just something to note. So that is Rio Santa Fe. Okay, I always love to talk to you all about the food, because I'm all about the food. I love food. Make sure I always do a food tour, or at least do food exploration wherever I go. And this time around, I definitely did the same thing. I went on an Airbnb food tour. Link in the show notes are there. So, I mean, I had another great experience with food in Cabo San Lucas. It was wonderful. I had some amazing tacos, tamales, mole, churros. Actually, I had the best churros of my life, even better than Mexico City. But I will say the food, as far as the best food I've ever had, is still Mexico City. But the churros, the best churros in life that I've ever had, is in this little stall called Churros Rellenos, something like that. So you can see the picture. That was the best churro I've ever had. And when you get your churro, apparently you need to get it with condensed milk, because that's how they do it. And I would much rather have condensed milk than chocolate or caramel any day now. Now I know the truth. So it was all really good. It was so yummy. I was so happy. I love Mexican food, and authentic Mexican food at that. So I must say, you know, the food, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. But I will, you know, when you're comparing it to Mexico City is superb. But again, Cabo San Lucas is also very, very good. Okay, and so let's talk about the activities. So yes, you have the beach. The beach is wonderful. I will say it's a little different than the beaches that you probably might find on the eastern side of Mexico, because the sand is more fine there. Everything about Tulum, Cancun area, Holbox even, the sand is a lot finer. But on the western side, so Puerto Vallarta and Cabo San Lucas, it's a lot grainier, it's a lot thicker. It's just something to get used to. But nonetheless, it was wonderful, it was beautiful, the water was great. I highly recommend just spending all the time on the beach. Another thing that I did, as I told you, I went on a food tour, highly recommend it. Again, link it in the show notes. I also went on a sunset whale watching sailboat tour. And that was probably my favorite thing that I did. And I did it very early on in my trip. And it was the most beautiful sunset I've seen, probably one of the most beautiful in my life. I was able to see whales. I've never seen whales like that and was so close to them. I mean, oh my goodness, it was phenomenal. And it was fairly inexpensive. I think it was maybe $85 for, you know, a couple hours, and you get all the drinks that you want. And they were good drinks. Like, they were not skimping on these drinks like the resort was. And you get food. We got 2 different platters. I got guacamole and salsa, homemade, that was amazing. And then I had a nice cheese platter and charbord. It was so divine. It was so good. It was so simple. And you met great people. The people that work there are amazing. So I highly recommend that particular activity if you can. And also, because I'm in Cabo, I went partying. And I say that. So, I feel so old when I say that. Well, okay, you all might know, I have a rule. When I'm out solo, I don't party by myself. It's very dangerous. I don't recommend that. I'll do it if I'm with a friend. But in this case, they were parties that were put on by the hotel. So there's like a neon party that I went to one day in my little almost neon bathing suit. It was a lot of fun, but I was also like, I'm really tired and I just want to go home and go to my room and sleep. But I had fun while I was there. It was cool. And nobody was like approaching me or hitting on me. I thought that was gonna happen, but it didn't. So I was grateful for that. I just wanted to like chill and like get with the music and have fun and have a few drinks, and that's what I got. So that was good. But yeah, definitely try the party scenes. There's a lot of partying in downtown. You can find that pretty easily in your hotels, most likely. Yeah, it's pretty. It's a nice scene. But if you can, what I would also recommend as another activity that other solo travel friend shared with me is to explore San Jose del Cabo too, because it's a lot quieter. I have a lot of great restaurants there, a lot of farm to table restaurants that had I had known or planned better, I would have gone. I went on this trip, like I planned it a week out. It was one of the most impromptu trips I've done. I booked it on a Wednesday to leave on a Thursday. And I'm glad that I did it. I really am, because I really needed it. But it's just one of those things where I was like, I didn't come in with too many expectations, and the area just blew me away. It really did. Okay, let's talk about challenges and things that I loved. So as far as challenges go, the first and foremost one, y'all, it is expensive. It's the most expensive place that I've been to in Mexico. More expensive than Mexico City. It is really expensive. So just be more mindful of that it's going to be more expensive trip if you're going to Mexico. Don't think that, oh, it's going to be a little cheaper. It's not. It's the most expensive place I've been to in Mexico and in a lot of Latin America, to be honest. So just prepare yourself for that if you're just kind of awestruck with how the expenses were. That's just how it is around there. Even the locals will talk about how much more expensive it is, but that's also why it's much safer to be there. So just to let you know, it's more expensive. And like I mentioned before too, like the resort pieces were not super great. Like the food and the watered down drinks, but that's it. Other than that, Cabo was great. Okay, and then what I loved, I feel like I talk about this all the time. Of course, I love the food, but I also love the people. The people were so sweet and so nice, of course. I feel like I find that most of the time in the places that I visit, but I can affirm that Cabo has wonderful people that are so very kind and nice. I felt very safe and welcome there. Oh, and I know I kind of already mentioned this, but the rock formations and the sunset, if you are able to go on any boat tour at all to watch the sunset, I highly recommend that you go. I mean, I want to do it again, like right now. It was so, it was really great. It was really great, and it was very calming, and I really appreciated it. So yes, watching the sunset, whether it's on the beach or on a sailboat in the water, make sure that if you do that, going around this time, around the winter time, is really great, because then you'll be able to see the whales almost all the time. Apparently they're like pretty consistent there, and you'll also be able to get really great views of the rock formations, and it won't be too hot. So definitely go see Lover's Arch, which is an amazing rock formation that's like thousands of years old. And also check out Divorcee Beach. There is a beach in the rock formations when you go on these tours, and you'll see these different beaches along the rock formations, and one of them was called Divorcee Beach, and I was like, hey, why not? Yes, some beaches should be called what they are. So I thought that was really fun. But anyway, I wanted to leave you all with that. Thank you so much again for watching my channel. Oh, before I go, I just want to do a quick update. My earrings are from Urban Bell Designs. If you're interested in earrings, because y'all know I love earrings, there's a link in my bio to where you can find these earrings to purchase. And if you like my video, please write Cabo in the show as a comment, and please subscribe to my channel and make sure that you put the little ring on so that you know every single time I have a new video for you. So again, thank you for watching. Mwah! Have a great day. Bye.